Welcome to the Empty Nest Mom Podcast, a space for every mom in every season. Whether you're rocking babies, raising teens, or staring at an empty bedroom, you'll find hope, laughter, and truth here. Together, we're remembering the woman who's always been there, beneath the mom, the wife, and the caretaker. And we're giving her permission to shine again.
Good morning, Mama, and welcome back to the Empty Nest Mom Podcast. I'm Mandy, and each week I am joined by some incredible moms who share the real, the raw, and the reimagined journey of motherhood. So grab your coffee and pull up your chair and let's dive in. Last week, we had one of those conversations that stayed with me long after we stopped recording. We laughed, we got a little teary, and so many of you reached out to say that you felt seen in your own journeys. That is the heartbeat of why we are here, because none of us are walking this season of motherhood alone. But here's the thing about empty nest life. It keeps unfolding. Just when you think you've got it figured out, another wave hits. Maybe it's the quiet mornings. Maybe it's learning who you are without a packed calendar. Or maybe it's realizing freedom and guilt can sit at the same table. Today, I am joined again by Lauren and Jill, and we're going to dig even a little deeper. We're talking about some of the raw, the funny, and the unexpected, and we're adding a little twist. How these lessons speak not just to empty moms, but to new moms or moms that are still in the thick of it. Because whether you are rocking a newborn at 2 a.m. or staring at the empty bedroom, the real question underneath it all is, who am I becoming as my kids grow? So pour your coffee and get comfy, because it's time for some real mom talk. I'm not sure that you ever forget the first moment of silence after your kids leave. It hits differently. For me, it was after I dropped my youngest 11 hours away in one of the biggest cities in the United States. And that drive back, it felt so endless, but yet it came so quickly. And when I finally pulled into the garage, it was probably about 1:30 a.m. And, I just sat there in my car for a while, staring around at the emptiness in that garage, just thinking, wow, how did I get here this fast? The garage, it used to feel alive. Her car was parked there. Mine was there. Her dog, Lila's paws were at the door. You could hear her sniffing or clicking on the door. I could hear music or chatter, in the house, her with her friends or just whatever, her coming to the door saying, "Oh, you're home. Where's dinner?" Just any of those little things. But that early morning when I walked in, it was just me. No car in that garage but mine. No dog waiting at that door. Lila was gone because, I wanted Lila to go with her. It was her dog. And, as a protector of some sorts with it and kind of keep her accountable and stuff and busy. But, eventually I walked inside that house and the house felt hollow. I'd had it listed for sale. So the walls were all bare. There were still boxes stacked that we didn't use for the U-Haul. And so those just served as reminders that everything had changed and was continuing to change. It wasn't just quiet. It was unsettling, almost kind of foreign, like, where really did I walk into like this whole new world? And then it hit me like a ton of bricks. It was just me. No one was coming home. That was just my home now. And that kind of silence isn't just about sound. It shakes you. It shakes your identity. And I sat there in that emptiness, realizing that life had shifted in a way that would never, ever be the same. And so I know that also for you, Jill, you have a story and it's different than mine. That story
It is.
is a little bit different. We all go through different scenarios, whether we're dropping the kids off at college or they're starting their journey not going to college. Maybe it's a trade school. Maybe they've entered the military, or maybe they take some time off and they just want to work and move on their own. But we all have those different stories. So would you care to share your kind of journey, how you kind of got into the empty nest as well?
Okay. So when my son decided, well, he got engaged in April. And so I knew it was coming, obviously. And I had time to prepare for it, but there wasn't, I just kept putting in the back of my head, oh, they're going to wait. They're not getting married until November. So they're not going to move out. He's not going to move out until closer till November. And
Right.
it was just when it hit me, I was with you.
Yes, we were together,
You're dropping
and
your daughter.
yes, and we were in Colorado.
We were when he dropped the bomb on me.
I think actually we were sitting in a counselor's office for admissions with Gracie
We were.
at CU Denver.
Yes, we were. And I felt horrible doing that to Gracie, but yes, that's when he dropped the bomb. And I got up and I walked out of that room and so I could call him. When he said, "Hey mom, I have an apartment in Joplin."
And it's like, what?
Yeah. Like, let me breathe.
And you got the excitement from him, right?
Yeah, he
He
was
was,
so excited. And I felt guilty that I wasn't excited for him. But
yeah.
like you said, he had the dog who was my little buddy as much as Lila was your buddy.
Yeah.
And so I kept thinking, well, how is this going to work? Is he going to leave me the dog so I can have the dog? Am I
At
going to
least
be
he was
missing
a dog.
both of them?
Right.
It, I might be able to deal with it maybe if he left me the dog case. So,
Right.
and it was kind of a whirlwind. As soon as you and I got back from Colorado,
Yeah.
I don't even know if it was that next weekend or if it was that week, he was just like,
I think it was
okay,
a week.
we're
It
going to
seemed
get
like
all
it was
my stuff.
Friday.
I think it was. And he was just like, okay, we're going to get everything and move out. And he started packing stuff up before I even got back. And when I walked into his room, he had taken apart his bed. He had taken apart everything. I mean, it was just like
Yeah.
his mattress was on the floor and that was it. And my heart was just in my throat. I just couldn't believe that you tried to prepare yourself for this, but there's just, and it, like I said, it was such a whirlwind that there was no thinking. And looking back at it, that's how it had to have happened.
Yeah.
I had to be away when he said, "Hey, I found somewhere," because he knew, whether he will admit it or not, and I think he will, he knew in the back of his head that I would try to talk him out of it. And I would have. And that's
Yeah.
not the right way to be either.
Yeah, it's nothing bad against him or
No,
anyone else involved in it. It's
no.
just us as a mom and a parent going through those
Yes.
emotions.
Yeah. So, it happened how it was supposed to happen. And so,
Yeah.
he had me be a part of it. So I couldn't, he didn't just up and
Yeah.
go. I was a part of everything. He asked me to help him. And so I helped him move. It was nice for him to want me there and to want me to be a part of it. It was nice.
Right.
But
Right.
that first
Right.
night looking around his room and there not being
There's
much
nothing
there,
like it, is there?
not at all. And I watched you with Gracie and I was there for part of it. And then when it happened to me, it was just like, okay, it's just hard. You're so proud of them. You're so
Oh
proud
my
of what
goodness.
they've accomplished and
And
everything they've done.
that is, you are. You're so proud of it.
Yeah. So I'm proud of him.
He
It's
didn't do it
funny.
he didn't do anything wrong in any
Not
way.
at all. No, he never did anything wrong.
Yeah.
And he's a good kid and he's as ornery as they come, but both of you
Yes.
know that.
It's funny to me because you guys sit there and talk about how quiet it is, and I almost daily, I'm like, "Has my kid stopped talking?"
Cherish it.
And now it's like,
Cherish it.
yeah, now I'm like, "Okay, I've gotta be a little nicer, I guess, and a little more patient," and
It is, and I remember sitting there thinking those things too, but I also remember sitting here now and Jill, you have grandkids too, and I know sitting here now, like, I'll be listening and I would agree with you. Quinn never stops talking.
I
Never.
don't think Bowen will. I think he's going to be a talker, but that's
I
okay.
do
My
too.
other
I
two are
think Bowen
talkers, so
definitely. Yes.
It is
Yes.
so exhausting. I It's so exhausting. I don't think I hear quiet. It's very, very rare that it is just quiet
Is
in my house.
quiet, he says at
yeah.
this point.
Oh, so, like,
Maybe
knowing
that's
that
why I
that's
work at a
coming.
school.
Yeah.
So you still get the noise.
The noise.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. That's hilarious. That is so true. That is so
Yeah.
true. No, that's a very good reflection because a lot of moms your age, they are, or not just your age, but that
Mhm.
age of the children and stuff. It is. And you're sitting there and I think you go through those phases of you want to see their success in it. I remember
Yeah.
sitting at the ball games and, and I don't remember ever thinking, just clearly, I can't wait till this is over. There are certain
Right.
stages I think that you reach
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, this is exhausting and I want this
Yes.
and this and
I
this.
just want
But
to rest.
yes,
Yeah,
I
or, I mean, something that
tired.
is something that I've struggled with is, like, finding who I am because
Yes.
I haven't been able to do that. Like, I went from being a teenager to directly into
Right,
being a mom, and
right.
I don't know, it's hard to know that that's coming and that I'll have all this time on my hands.
Right.
I don't know, like, it doesn't seem like that will ever happen while I'm here in the stage that I am.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get that. I totally get that. I mean, trying, because you have to set at your stage, you have to set so much of you aside.
Yeah,
And it's like, when do I get to be me
yeah. I don't
Yeah.
even know who me is.
at this point? Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
And it's
I've
Well,
funny.
tried.
Yeah. I'm back in that scenario. I don't know who
Right,
me is. Now I'm defining that.
right,
yes.
and I think
Exactly.
it's ultimately, you just have to try to not lose yourself in the moment
Yeah.
of and feel this way, and so, like, lately, I have been looking around and, like, I've changed my hair and I've changed like, I'm trying to change the way I dress. I'm trying to be more healthy. I'm trying to set routines for myself and
Yep.
Right.
just see what I like, which is weird.
It is. And I think honestly, identity shouldn't be something that you find later. It should be something that we continually nurture along the way. We should be able to always hold our identity. And I don't really understand at what phase we lost it,
Right.
with
Yeah.
it. It's just one of those things that fades in and out.
I
Right.
also think it goes back to depending on what age you really had your children at too.
Yeah.
I
Well,
feel
I
like
definitely think
Say
it
I
plays
feel
so.
like
into that.
after I've had kids and I was so young, like, I'm very thankful that I was so young because now I won't be 50 when they graduate. I mean, no judgment to anybody that does wait, whatever. But I feel like, I look at my sister, and
Mhm.
even though she doesn't want children right now, who knows, that might change, but I am thankful that she has the mindset of, "I'm going to wait, I'm going to live my life, find out who
Planning.
I am, and then make that decision," because
Yeah.
that's really how it should be.
Yeah. But don't you think she learned a little bit? Go ahead.
From me?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yes. And I had my kids at 21 and 30. And I know that that's a pretty good gap, but a lot of it is I look at you when you grew up and you were out of the house and in some sorts, your sister Gracie saved me because
Mhm.
I didn't go through that at that point. It wasn't that emptiness, feeling alone, all those terrible things.
Yeah.
At that point, I feel like moms don't talk enough about is the tug of war that you feel between the joy and the
Mhm.
guilt of
Mhm.
empty nest. So we look at it and we have this freedom now. But no matter what, I feel like no matter what I'm doing sometimes, that guilt just seems to creep in. It's like the minute I start thinking, oh, this is fun and I'm enjoying it, it's like this guilt comes in and it's like, oh
Mhm.
my gosh, am I allowed? Am I actually allowed to enjoy this? And, it's like you're almost looking around like, I can't have fun anymore. I'm a mom. No matter how old you get. Am I wrong, Jill?
No, you're not. I feel the same way on things. if I start to do something fun or, well, just doing stuff, it's like, oh, wait, should I have invited the kid? Should I? Yeah.
Not that they think about it the same way we do. I mean,
They don't.
I look at it, with like Gracie, like sometimes I'm like, I'll start feeling guilty and I'll call and I'll be like, hey, how's it going? And she's like, what do you need? Or they don't answer the phone, right? I mean, for you,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure
Yes.
you have seen a difference. What difference have you seen?
Not answering the phone the first time I call, it's like Ty I always throw him under the bus, but when he comes to town or whatever to go visit his friends, it's like he drives right by my road and he doesn't come say hi to mommy. And
I
you
know.
know, it's like,
I know.
why didn't you do that? But then again, at the
Well,
same,
we're so used to being the whole center of the
yes,
world, right? And so
yes,
we still like anytime you would drive up where he is, you're gonna say, hey, whatever. But I guess in a way, I look at that and think maybe that should be our card that says you don't have to do this every time.
right. Yeah. Well, yes. Or the times that Macy says, hey, I want to go to Joplin, or let's go do this, or it's like, and then I feel like I have to go, even though I don't have to go. And she tells me I don't have to, but I still,
Yes,
it's- yeah, I want to be there
that guilt
for her and I
creeps
want
in.
to, yeah.
It's hard because yes, it's like you do want to be there and you want to be there for everything that no one was there for you for and all
Yeah.
those things and yet we still give. I mean, because I know that you've canceled plans
Yes.
that you've had just for you
Yes.
to do something because they asked you and even on late notice. And
Yeah.
it's because we feel guilty. But should we know? I mean, I am getting better. Lauren can attest to that. I am getting better, but it's this process that I have to like continually go through in my mind of, okay, wait, did they ask me to go to Germany?
Right.
Did they ask me to go to Washington? Did they ask me to go to Florida? Did they ask me to go to Lowe's alone to get plants? I mean, no matter what the thing is,
Hmm.
it should be more about, do we have time? And is that something that we want to do to create joy? Or is that a bond that we want to, and those kind of things. But sometimes it is that guilt that
It is.
still guilts us to make us do
Yeah.
it.
Yes. I always want my kids to, hey, mom, can you please help me out? Can you, monetarily, can't always, but just to be there if they need me, I do
Right.
have a big guilt with that. I just want to be there when they need me, but then 9 times out of 10, they don't need us. But you're too scared to go do something or to go do you.
Exactly. And what if they call and they really wanted to do something with you? Or,
Hmm.
sometimes I find it's kind of like dating or something, or when you had friends and you were in high school, it's like you held on to that one
Yes.
person that might call you and that's not, your kid, you raised that person.
Yes. Yes. I've done that a lot lately,
But
especially.
yes.
That's just,
Or, okay, Life 360 may be one of the worst things that you can ever continually keep on, in my opinion,
yeah.
because if you see them and they're close or whatever, the hope that maybe they will
Yes.
stop
And
or
that's
maybe they'll call
exactly
you
what
and see
gets,
them. Yes, yes. Well, and I know for like my youngest, she
mhm.
went to Missouri and I was at Lauren's and I tried every way, and Lauren can attest to this. I tried every way to like, cause I haven't seen her in probably almost 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And other than FaceTime, but I tried every way to say, oh, hey, you could just stop by because I am going to be there. I was leaving
Mhm.
on the day that she was going to Lauren's house to visit Lauren.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, that's fine.
Well, here's a funny for you. I watched her go by my house several times too, and she didn't come see me. So there you go.
And the funny thing is, she noted, she was like, I'm trying to go see Jill. And I was like, okay,
Yeah. I didn't get to see her either.
it's just, but Lauren did,
I
you
did.
know, and
That's
I
all right.
understand that. I understand that they
Yeah.
don't want to see us. I understand
Yes.
that they feel like we are still controlling. We are still,
Yes.
the parent. We are still, all these things. And I get that. And I understand
I
that
do.
with it. But so Lauren, for you, I mean, it's not been that far for you that you've hit those stages and stuff. So I look at you and I think you're a good person to help, me whenever things are happening. You're
Mhm.
like, it's okay, and so you can kind of offer some consoling and those kind of things. Also for you, what does freedom look like for you in your stage? How do you try to find some levels of freedom to be able to, be you and nurture your identity and stuff?
It's extremely hard and extremely rare that we ever get to do stuff like that right now. Entirely depends on other people and their schedule, and that is kind of the worst. I mean, my oldest is at the point where he will stay home by himself, but he has a cell phone and we have a security system and everything. So
Right.
like I trust him being home by himself, but
Right.
he's not at the age where he can watch his sister and actually be.
Nor I don't know that they ever are.
No, and I don't think that's a good idea, period. We have to rely on other people and their schedules and if they're available on the weekends. And I mean, I don't think Alex and I have been on a date in several months at this point. Especially the colder months are very hectic for us anyways, because that's probably my busiest time of the year for my business.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. And part of this stuff with you as well is I am there once or twice a month. And every time I say, hey, why don't you guys go do something with the kids? You're like, oh, I want to go, let's go do our thing. I want to spend time with you because we're doing it. And your husband just got off night shift too. So you
He
didn't have
did.
as
He
much.
did.
And so it's different now. And so
It is.
life is a little bit different and you're adjusting to that, shifting,
Yes. Yes, and it also doesn't help that, like, I mean, the week before he switched to day shift was when Quinn's attitude completely changed, and
4 years old.
we've hit the tantrum about everything right now. I really don't feel much freedom at all at this point in my life, at this season of my motherhood, just because it is constantly go, go, go. But also, I guess, like, the moments that I do feel like I can be myself and that I am without my youngest, are when, like, I go to the gym and she hangs out in the little kids' room and
Right.
or when you're here, or I will FaceTime mom and go into the other room and let Quinn speak for 45 minutes, and I mean, she will use that 45 minutes. So,
Right.
Yeah. But also, I think now is a good time to mention, Lauren, that you and I both have come up with that 5 minute freebie that we're putting out
yes.
here soon. And those, even I know it's only 5 minutes, but I think that we've both found some peace in those 5 minutes. And it's 5 minutes that we're getting up earlier or taking
Yes,
that
yes.
time for
Mhm.
just ourselves. And it's a total of just 5 minutes, but it's ways to
It
help us
is.
do a little bit of a shift with it.
Yeah, and as long as we're
Yes,
getting that 5 minutes, I'm
it
good
does
with it.
help.
Like, it makes all the difference, especially in the mornings, like, waking up before the kids get up and literally
Yes.
just having a moment to breathe is amazing for my
Yes.
mental health.
Just saying,
Yes,
don't
most
feel bad if
definitely.
that was my favorite time. In the mornings when my
Yeah, I
Exactly.
kids
don't
are
feel
both
bad.
home, I just had that 30 minutes to an hour of
Yeah.
just I can watch what I want. I can sit here and not do anything and no one's going to ask me anything. That was
Yeah.
my
Right.
favorite
Right.
time. And
Well,
it
and
still
I
is.
think yeah. I mean, there's still so much that you're trying to figure out in this role. I think that even the empty nest it's a grieving thing. And there's so many things that you're looking at. It's a depression and a grieving. And for me, unfortunately, I'm menopausal too. And so I love it when my youngest is like, oh my gosh, my mom is menopausal and I left, I'm sure but
That's so funny that you said that because we did talk about that the other day.
yeah, and I'm telling you, none of that is for the lighthearted. I'm telling you, it
Yeah, no.
is just tough. And it you're still grieving a loss. Along with grieving that loss, you're still looking at, everything. I don't know about you, Jill, you tell me, but for me, sometimes I sit there and I go through everything from when they were little to here and how could I have done this better? And that's one of the worst things that you could ever do. Do not do that because you did it. You did it the best you could. Now,
Yes.
we still do it because
Yes.
that's human, right? And
Yes.
so I had started journaling some stuff just to do that. And for me also, I have these quotes that I stick in my head, or I go look at myself in the mirror and say, this is a new stage. And I still look at myself or to myself and say, what do I want to be when I grow up?
Yes.
And it's like, how do I don't feel older, and I don't feel I am nowhere
Right.
near done. And so for me, there's so many big things coming. I know for the Empty Nest Mom brand,
Yeah.
along with some other brands that are so exciting with it. But I, and for you, Jill, I look at you because you're in a different scenario than myself. And so with you at your home now, it's you and your husband. And so I am forced to think that now it's like, how do you reconnect that? I mean, are you, because don't you almost have to redefine that somewhat too? Because it's just you two
Yes.
now.
Yes, we do. And we have, there's a lot more times for us just to sit together and watch a movie. Like, before we never watched movies during the week. We would just
Yep.
be on the run,
Well, you
taking
probably never
this
had
one
a
or
remote.
doing that. Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
And so just to sit and relax together and be able to just unwind together at night has been
Yeah.
a blessing. It's been nice. And,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
and I don't have to cook big meals anymore because he
Yep.
and I are just light eaters at night. So
Yeah.
it's been changed completely.
Yeah.
We are still trying to figure out who we are again. We haven't quite
Yep.
got there yet, but it's coming. We're getting
It's
into a new groove.
learning how to unify more
Yeah,
now,
it is. It is. And so it's hard, but we're getting there. And I'm happy to say we're getting there.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And I think, for my terminology, I look at it and it's kind of like you're always the mom on call. That's the feeling. Mom
Yes,
on call, always ready. And unfortunately, again, that Life 360 is good and bad, because it's like I always wait for a good call or I always wait for a bad call, and
yes.
it's so hard to
Yeah,
know what's going to happen, and are they being careful, and, what's
right.
these next things. The world has gotten so out of
Crazy.
sorts lately. Lauren, as a daughter and my daughter, what do you feel like made you reach back out and be like, hey, I mean, this is my mom, and I really, really want to cultivate this relationship into more than just on call mom or whatever?
Right. I think it entirely depends on your age and what you've been through at said age. Like for Gracie, for my sister, I feel like she's at the stage where she wants to do everything independently. And she's this independent woman that wants to go to college, wants to live her life. She does not want to speak to someone that's going to try to give her any other advice or anything, and that's
Yeah.
fine. Like she wants to learn it for herself, and I
Yes,
understand
we
that.
all did. I mean, to a degree.
Yeah, and I mean I went through that a little bit after I had Channing, but ultimately I think motherhood kind of changed me and my
Mhm.
perspective on that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Macy feels the same way. Like once you have a
Yeah.
kid, it's completely different. Like
Yes.
I've never really had friends at all. And the only person I've ever been able to trust is my mom. And so after I realized that, and I realized that kids absolutely wreck you, I really wanted to have a better relationship with my mom and all of those things. I've put a lot aside to cultivate that with you and make it where it is now. So, I don't know, it just is more important to me because I hope my kids want to do that with me when they get older.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
mean, I've lost a ton of family and the only person I've ever had is you, and so I don't want to run that. So
Yeah.
that's my view on it, but I think like I said, I think it depends on how old you are and if you have children, if you've been through something, any kind of hardship, I think it
And
just depends
everyone
on
does
that.
at some point. It's like I've told you,
Yes.
everyone does at some point,
Yes.
a life altering thing,
Yes.
um, with it kind of usually brings realities
Yes.
and,
Like
and all
who's
kinds
gonna
of
be there
things.
for
That's
you is
right.
that
That's
the
right.
the true what word am I looking for? The true friend
Mhm.
is going to come out in that moment.
do feel like as a parent, though, you do reach a friend relationship with it, because
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't need to be telling at this point in your life, I don't need to be mandating and telling you anything to do. And and for me, I really do feel like I understand how you and your sister have felt along the way, but I really do feel like I have allowed you guys to be pretty open. I mean, I'm going to say Gracie does push back harder on like, that's none of your business, or something with it. I mean, she's very, very, very vocal, and she is very, very forward. And sometimes I cuss myself for that, because that's exactly how I am,
I
you
know.
know?
I wish that I could set boundaries the way that she does.
Yes.
Because she is very, very like this is how I feel. You're not gonna push past that, or we're
Right.
not gonna speak. And I'm like, okay.
Right. Well, and so, for me, sometimes just so the other moms, I want them to understand that we all feel that way, or not all of us, but some of us. And I know, like, I'll even be like, hey, spray some peroxide on that. Make sure you cover it. My famous thing is castor oil. She slid and got this big cut and stuff. She was playing softball, and she's very aggressive. If anyone knows her, she, um, is very aggressive softball player. She was a pitcher. She's going to slide. She's going to get the blah, 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 blah. And, she's a very good player, and she was in shorts and didn't even think about it. And she slid. And so her whole side is done. So I had said something about that, and she's like, I looked it up, and you're never supposed to use peroxide. Okay. Yep. That internet is so much better than me, but whatever.
Not internet, it's Chat GPT.
Oh, okay. Chat. But you know what I'm saying. And so those, it's like those moments you realize you're not the whole world. Now, Jill, I look at ways to stay involved. I mean, we've kind of had some different discussions. And
Yes.
for me, one of the biggest things that I have found is I try to keep up on like social media and tech use, like what they use, because I mean, let's face it, they know it all and all this stuff. And sometimes we are that punching bag.
Yes.
And then suddenly we become the one that they cry to. Either way, we're always waiting on them to circle back to us, and love that. And a lot of times that is going to happen when they become parents, like Lauren said.
Yeah.
And we know that. And then they'll need us again and stuff. For
Right.
me, I want to make sure that I'm accessible for them in ways that are easy for them, which helps us be able to talk to them. So I try
Yes.
to make sure I have Snapchat and I know how to use it. I make sure that I have TikTok and know how to use it. And,
Right.
sometimes I even get in trouble for commenting on different things
Yes.
and stuff with it. I do always try to make sure that I have that in the FaceTime and, the
Right.
Zoom and, all these things, because I think that if they can communicate with us like they do their friends, at least that's a
Yes.
quicker way for them to say,
Yes.
hey, I'm okay. Love you. Bye. Instead of
Yes.
just not calling us or
Right.
just not texting us.
That's me. I like to send, I like to send out texts every day, every other
Yes.
day. Just, hey, I'm thinking of you.
That's what,
And
yeah,
I even do it with
I'm the same
my
way.
son-in-law and my daughter-in-law. Hey, just want to let you know I'm thinking of you. Hope everything's going good. And, and I just
Yep.
feel like, well, they may not answer back, but they'll see it and they'll know at least I'm thinking of them. And, hey, maybe I should call mom later or something.
Right.
But,
Yep.
I'm not really too into the tech, period. But my son and I, we don't do all the Snapchat
Right.
and stuff. But let me tell you, I'm getting really good at it because of Macy and Bowman.
Right.
So, but it's always open.
Have your family dinners.
Yes, I do. That
Yep.
is a
Family
big,
dinners. You have a big family. You kind of
yeah.
rotate. Yes.
We have lots of birthdays, and so I try to do it a couple times a month.
Yep.
But this next month, who knows what's going to happen? So, but that's okay
You
as
just
long as we
never
can
know.
do it
Things
when we
get
can.
busy. Yep.
Yes,
Holidays come up. That's right. And you always plan for it. And I see that as
I
one of
do.
the biggest things that you use as I come back to the
Yes,
center,
that is my favorite. Just to be able to all be there together and bounce ideas, things that are going on, and just being able to be there with each other, even
You
if
find out
it's
something.
loud
Yeah.
and chaotic,
Yeah.
and usually is. But we enjoy it.
That's right.
Yeah. So, and
That's
they,
right.
like this last week, Ty
I
ended up inviting friends over. So we had more people.
felt like high school again.
It felt like high school. It was his
And
best
it was
friend.
fun.
So, why not?
Yep. They become your kids, you know?
They
Yep.
were. Yeah.
Yep. Good times. I love hearing you know, I had so many other kids growing up with my girls that were like my kids the whole time. And so it's always nice to hear from them. Sometimes I hear from them more than I do my kids in a
Yeah.
day or something on it.
Yes.
But I do enjoy that. I
Yeah.
do enjoy that.
It means a lot.
So, Jill, if you could go back and whisper something to yourself when you were a brand new mom, knowing where you're at now, and you could go back and whisper something, what would that be?
It goes so fast, and just take time, enjoy the little things, and remember them. I think
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah.
there's so many things that have happened over the years that it's hard to go back, and I wish I would have wrote it down, or I wish I would have, you know, kept track of it somehow. But I just want them to, I just want
Yeah.
to go back.
Yeah. Yeah. I look at it for me and it's like, I would probably tell myself it's okay to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to happen is going to happen regardless. You can't control those things. Have a little more fun, give myself a little more grace
Yeah.
than than I did. And probably one of the biggest things I wish I would have told myself was keep doing things that make you you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Yes.
keep this for you. Keep this spot for you. That's just you. I was 90% a single mom,
Mm-hmm.
and if it wasn't my friends, yourself, or, a couple of our other moms, I didn't have help.
Mm-hmm.
So my kids were always with me, but I should have kept some little piece of me and who I was. Probably I would have made me a better mom, I think, to have had more time,
Right.
with it. But, what about you, Lauren, at this point? How do you see that? What do you see as carrying you? I mean, what advice would you give yourself by listening to us from going from where you're at to empty nest?
I don't know. I think maybe don't be scared of what's coming. Don't fear that. Kind of embrace it more and build up the relationships that I have around me. So, like maybe my sister-in-laws or other things that will carry me into being an empty nest, if that makes
Yes.
any sense. So, I don't know. I just don't want to stress about that right now. I'm really trying hard to embrace it more. Like be happy in the moments where I actually want to pull my hair out, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we've had a lot of moms say that too to us.
Yes.
A lot of the moms have emailed in, or we've seen them out and about, or messaged on social media and said, "Thank you. This really made me sit and think
Right.
that this is what I need to do." Just imagine yourself sitting at a round table and we have all these moms that we're just communicating with. What is just like a one liner, one sentence that you would look at them and tell them?
I would probably say, yeah, whether your kids are toddlers or teenagers, you have to start practicing presence and independence now.
Yes, I think that's great advice.
Yeah.
I think that's absolutely
Mhm.
great advice. For me, it would be like, you have permission to be yourself.
Oh, yeah.
You do not have to give up your dreams. It's not too late for your dreams. You might have to move some things around or get used to doing some different things, but it is not too late for your dreams. Make those dreams happen. Do not put them off.
Yeah.
You are important. What
Take
would
the
you give,
trips.
Jill? Take the
Take the
trips.
trips. You know,
Yeah.
so many times I have, instead of saving money to take the trips, I have, well, we need this. The kids need this. We got to do this. And I could have just done the
Took the
stuff
trip.
instead of got the physical things.
Yeah.
And I think that I hope Macy and Ty and Cheyenne, when they have kids, I hope they see that. Let's just
Yes.
do the things instead of getting all the stuff we don't need.
I think that's a great one. I started implementing that, a few years ago. We had to take a little bit of a hiatus from that when Lauren had Quinn for a couple of years there because it was tough and it was hard for her to travel and do things with her. But
Right.
yeah, we're starting those things again. And that's one of my favorite things. I mean, I think that's amazing. And Lauren has many times said to me, I'm so glad we did that.
Oh, for sure. Experiences, like, I will forever remember those things, but the items that you gave me, they can go out of style. They can g
That's
they
right.
I mean, I get it.
And I wished I would have done that earlier, but I
Yeah.
never
Same.
at the time it was, well, we need this. So I think
Yes.
I
Yes.
tell their mom, do the stuff. Don't get the
Yeah.
stuff. Do the stuff.
That's right. It's just stuff, you know.
Exactly.
You know, because I 100% know that my kids will forever remember me when we went on ski trip and
Mhm.
remember that I was there. I was physically there on the ground more 99% of the time and said, "You know what? I am down here because I want my grandkids to know that it is okay to be on the ground. It has
Yes.
nothing to do with me not knowing how to ski or not being able to. I'm going to take the now that I've taught him this lesson and go ahead and go."
Yes. That's exactly right. And that's what
So
I would tell
exactly,
the stuff.
exactly. So it's those fun times, and I agree with that. That's a great one. That's a great one. If this conversation spoke to you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with another mom who needs to know she's not walking this season alone. And mama, don't just listen, be a part of it. Head to our website and subscribe to unlock access to the Mom Circle. It's our exclusive private community where the real conversations continue. Inside, you're going to find encouragement, connections, and resources that you won't get anywhere else. And while you're at it, make sure you hit subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and or YouTube so that you never miss an episode of our podcast. Thank you for being a part of this circle. Now, go ahead, pour that coffee, blast your favorite song, and take back a little piece of you.
You've been listening to the Empty Nest Mom podcast, a space for every mom in every season. Together, we're remembering the woman who's always been there, beneath the titles, and giving her permission to shine again. Join us back here each week for laughter, honesty, and the reminder that you were never meant to do this season alone.